Yeah, 50 years ago.
So I don't need a mic, just him?
We got,
Oh, I'm boomed.
you're covered.
You're a boomy.
We got you picked up 2 ways. Oh yeah. We're good?
We're good.
Talk about being here at the Bowl, first of all, and what the show was like. Have you guys ever played here before?
Yeah, last tour.
Yes. Is this last tour? I think it's at Staples, I think, the last tour. What's this like being here? Is it special to be playing in this venue? Is it a different kind of vibe?
We were just talking about how special it is, in fact, just before sound check today.
Yeah. You walk around these hallways and you see these great pictures of, shows from the 20s, shows from the 40s, and, that's very cool. And I think that's probably the coolest thing about playing this venue is the fact that it's got this historical aspect to it, which many venues that we play do not have.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice view from the stage, too. It's pretty intimate for a place of this size. And the way it goes up the hill and what seems like miles in the distance, it's kind of a nice perspective from the stage.
How does that affect what you guys do up there on stage? You played at every type of stage around the world, all sizes over the years. When you're at a theater that you like and there's different vibes, does it change the show? Is it a different mindset? Is there something different going on?
It's certainly more fun for us when we're closer to the crowd, when we can feel them. Some venues have a big proscenium in front of the stage, and and that kind of becomes a barrier between us and the fans. So it makes it less fun because some fans come and there's a little bit of interaction, and they hold up certain signs, and so you can get a buzz off of kidding with somebody in the third row, or and I think that's a nice thing for us. I mean, I don't think it really affects the way we play, but it makes us a bit more happy, and we get a bit more vibed up.
I think your fans will be happy to hear that too, because you have fans are real fans, and they get real into what you're doing, and they really love the show. I think they'll be happy to know that you're paying attention, you're watching the fans, you see what they bring.
Well, I can only see so far. I'm pretty well blind, but
Right.
I can see about 5 rows out, and so when they come and they're jazzed up, I know Alex feels the same way. We like it when they're close to us.
What do you guys do differently on tour now that you weren't doing 30 years ago? What have you learned? What's changed the most?
We travel better than we used to. I mean, when you're younger, you can sit in a car. When we first started, of course, like most bands, we had a sedan for about a year, and then we progressed to a station wagon, and if you were lucky enough, you got to sleep on the luggage that night, those sort of things. Now we travel a little more comfortably and get to where we're going a little quicker. It gives us a little more time to do some of the other things that we're interested in, visit friends. I like to play golf and that sort of thing. But you have to. At this stage and the way we play, the way we work, shows over 3 hours, it wears you down. It's very physical. And it's quite exhausting over the course of a tour, so it's very important to eat well, travel well, sleep as much as you can, all of those things.
I'm sure the best thing is bringing all this new music to a tour like this and playing all the new songs from Sinks and Arrows. Talk about just how that new music is kind of, with every album probably, but it's kind of revitalized what you guys are doing when you're back on the road. Must keep it exciting for you guys.
It's a lot of fun to play the new songs, obviously. I mean, there's some old songs that we love to play still, and go out there and play the old ones with as much enthusiasm as we can muster. But the new songs are harder to play because they're not embedded in the memory as deeply, and they're also more exciting to play because it's fresh stuff. So this album has been amazing how well our crowds have received all this new material, and I can't. We were talking about how I can't remember a single tour where new material has been so welcomed, and people have been singing along with it so quickly. Even on the first show in Atlanta, it was like an old album to them. They had, they were looking forward to hearing it, and that's very, very gratifying for a band that has been around as long as we have.
How proud are you guys of the new music? If you guys to sum up what you've accomplished here with Snakes and Arrows.
Well, we had a wonderful time making the record. Getty and I, when we started writing it, we decided to work in a different manner than we usually do, and not start up the whole big machine that it usually is. And we worked very casually, and it set a tone for the record, and it was really a lot of fun from the very beginning. And every aspect, as it became more and more involved and more complex, it was still fun. And we got great results quickly. We worked with a great engineer. We worked with a great producer, and we feel that we really wrote some great songs on this record. And it all came together in the end.
Why do you think it came together so well? 'Cause a lot of bands one would call it quits at this point and kind of rest on their laurels. Two would put out a mediocre record. You guys are, arguably doing the best music of your career. What do you think it is that's gelling so well for you guys at this point?
I don't know. I think we've been through a lot as a band in the last 8 years, 9 years. Some, difficult moments, and we've come through that, and that's kind of a rebirth in a way for us. And as you're a little bit older, you're more appreciative of things, and you're more relaxed about the way you do things, and there's also a part of it that's not explainable. There's a part of it is just the moment, and this album was one of those unexplainable moments. From the minute we sat down to write, it felt good, and we made the right decisions along the way, hired the right people to work with us along the way, and it just kept feeling good. And when we finished, we had an album that we rank among our best. So at this late date in our career, that is incredibly energizing.
Mm-hmm. Was there ever another doubt there'd be another Rush album? Was this always the plan to take a little time off and have another album?
Yeah, there was no doubt
it?
about
Yeah.
it. No doubt.
Yeah.
We're happy it turned out as well.
Yeah. Very good. Thematically, musically, if you can just kind of put into words what you guys are hoping to accomplish with this album, how it maybe differs from Vapor Trails and everything in the past.
Well, from a lyrical and conceptual point of view, it's an album that deals with kind of cause of effect of the current atmosphere of life that, as we see it. And particularly Neil, he's the lyricist, so these are his thoughts that we put to music, and along the way we identify with them as well, so we support them fully. But so it deals with a lot of difficult issues and personal issues, and making sense out of religious ideals and the way that the world has been kind of turned on its ear by a lot of those kind of factors of the last number of years. So that's kind of a thematic essence of the record, cause and effect, I would say. And musically, I think we just wanted to get back a little bit to a more direct approach to writing. And I think our experience doing the Feedback album, where we were playing these songs that we grew up with, reminded us about a certain kind of spirit of great rock songs. And I think it inspired us to want to get that feeling back in our music.
Mm-hmm. For people now that maybe turned on to Rush for the first time, how exciting is that someone pick up this album that aren't familiar with your classic albums, and I'm sure you have fans like that in the shows, you'll meet young fans, stuff like that. What's that experience like for you guys?
It's interesting to note how many young people there are in the audience on this tour. Kids 8, 9, 10 years old who are there for their first concert or their first Rush concert with their parents, but they're also a lot of mid-teens, and they're very familiar with the new stuff, and I think a lot of it has to do with the good success that Far Cry, the first single, had at radio. It's been a while since we've had something at radio that's been as active as this, and people have really responded to it and related to it. And it's nice to see that there's this familiarity with the song in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's also a curiosity amongst a lot of the, new teen crowd that we have, where they've heard about the band and some of them are musicians, and they've heard other bands talk about us as being, musicians that they like. And I think that kind of thing is floating to a younger crowd, and they're curious. They want to see what we're all about. So, and hopefully they're digging it.
When you guys are writing, when you guys are recording, how conscious are you of kind of the Rush legacy and how this is going to add another chapter to that? And is that a burden? Is that a weight to live up to past success? Is that something you guys try not to think about? I
don't think about it at all. I can't really look at our work in terms of a legacy of any kind.
Yeah, we're too busy.
It's rock music, it's what we're all about on the day. And, our albums are really our time capsules, kind of, about where we are as players at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
As well as sleepers.
When you play a song tonight, something from a past record, where are you? Are you totally there in the moment, or do you let yourself ever go back to the place when, say, that song was written or when that song was recorded? How much of that is going on at any given time?
Well, we're working up there, so we're trying to remember all the notes in the right order, and that takes up a big part of your brain. And
But it's never going through the motions or being bored with it. You play it 100% every night, absolutely, every song.
well,
Always.
maybe not every night.
But when people, maybe only in these situations when people ask you this kind of question, but I'm sure you must think about it in terms of your guys' legacy as a band and kind of, the great heights you guys have achieved. What are your thoughts in terms of how this album now could add to that going forward?
Well, I'm amazed that we're still here, and I'm amazed when I look out and I see, 13, 14,000 people a night, filing in to see us. It blows my mind, and I'm happy that, I can, share this thing with them. And so when I see them and I see them smiling, I guess I'm filled with, excitement and a desire to want to please them, to make them go home happy. But I am aware of the fact that these people, at some point in their life, have been touched by something we created, and that has a lot of impact with me.
And if he's happy, I'm happy.
Speaking of, talk about actually the dynamic between you guys and kind of the friendship and what's kind of kept that bond going throughout the years in terms of how close you guys.
Oh, we're not friends.
I owe him so much money, there's no way he'll ever get to...
Yeah, we're not friends. I can't.
But are there months that go by when you guys don't talk, or a year in between records?
I wish. No,
I try not to talk to him every day.
We've been hanging around
But
together.
then he says, "Are you okay?" I go, "Yeah, I'm fine." No, he lives around the corner from me. We talk way too much.
Yeah. Is Neil living in LA?
Neil lives in LA, but when we're back on the road, it's like we were never apart. Geddy and I have been friends since junior high school for like 40 years, and we fell in love with music at the same time, and we played in each other's basements, plugged into one amp, and dreamed the dreams. Of course, you had to throw that in, and dream the dream every day. We couldn't wait to finish school so we could start jamming and playing. So to come from there to here is pretty amazing, and to still be pals and hang out and play tennis together at home and have dinner and drink his wine. It's a really, it's a great
Nothing
thing.
changes, really.
And rare. You don't really, and most people don't have friends from their younger years.
Or friends.
Or friends, period. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
And if he's happy, I'm happy.
You mentioned the pop success of this album, the radio success of the single, something like that you guys have only had periodically throughout your career. What's that like? You probably can think back and count a few times when you had a hit single. You've never been known necessarily as a singles band. Is that a different kind of thing for you guys when that happens? It's like, wow, because I know you're not aiming for that probably necessarily.
I don't think we know how to do that.
Yeah, it's always a surprise.
It's always a surprise. So it's great when fans come and they know the songs well. It's a buzz. I love looking out there and seeing them sing. And sometimes it's the most unlikely person that you would spy as a Rush fan out there, like a 12-year-old girl who's like probably the smallest demographic of all Rush fans. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe a 12-year-old Indonesian girl. Maybe that's the smallest demographic.
That could be.
But you know what I mean? When you see someone unexpected out there singing along, it's terrific. And I think that's what having a radio play does for you.
Mm-hmm. Is there one moment or a couple moments when you guys are talking amongst yourselves, you look back at peaks or pinnacles for this band that you'll always kind of never forget?
I can't remember anything in the past.
Yeah. I don't know if we ever really have those kinds of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It's this is our life, and it's we don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. Just it's what we do, kind of thing.
Once in a while, we reminisce about
Yeah.
remember that great gig, or
Right.
when you play a building that you haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
It spurs memories.
Yeah.
Of,
Catering.
It's always the food. It's a long career, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of memories.
Yeah.
It's hard to just call them up on demand.
But speaking of stamina, right in the middle of a tour like this, what are you guys doing on the road to keep your voice sounding as great as it does, and to be as healthy as you are, to keep doing what you're doing? Is there a certain regimen you guys have to follow to?
Yeah, we have different regimens, but I try to stay as quiet as I can. I need more days off than I've ever had. I need to rest my voice. I need to get a lot more sleep. I'm really exhausted the next day after a show. So when we do we only do one back-to-back a week, and that's still a lot for me. Hint, hint, manager. So to me, it's all about rest and diet and not getting too active on days off. I just have to lay low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a chef who cooks very organically and very cleanly, and that's been a really important factor the last couple of tours. Try to hit the gym a couple days a week if possible, if you have the energy. And for me, I like getting out and playing golf as much as I can. It's always a nice escape from the hotel room. But you got to really work at it at this point. Mm-hmm. It's a long tour, and you have to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. What goes through your mind as you're about to walk on stage on a night like this? As you're like,
did I pee?
hour and a half from now.
Yeah, tonight, I mean, a place like Los Angeles is crazy because there's a lot of friends and guests. And, you know, I'm just trying to hide all day long just so that I can get my game face on and go out there. But, you know, it's the same, every night it's the same feeling. When you see them smiling, it makes me smile. And then I have a good time. And I just want to enjoy it because I love to play. And I'm sure Al does too. And, you know, and their smiling makes you vibed up.
And your hopes and dreams for this album as you go forward and for the band over the next year or so?
Well, get through the tour.
Yeah.
It's
Just carry on.
It's, you know, stretching out to be a fairly long tour. We're talking about, you know, the possibility of doing something next year as well, and then another record after that, and then another tour after that, and then on and 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 on.
Not to weigh you down today. Well, you guys are great.
Okay, thank you.
Real pleasure talking.
Thanks very
I just want to
much.
ask you one. I'll show you one thing. Actually, one favor. It's my 1-year-old.
Aw, that's great.
Awesome.
Is that one of the hoodies he's got?
That was one of the. If you don't mind signing something to Holden.
Holden?